Welcome to Barb's Ink Art. Today we're going to do an abstract botanical similar to this but in shades of red. And we are using heavy Yupo 11 by 14. I have two canned airs. I always have two because sometimes the tip will blow off or it gets very cold, so and it freezes over. So it's always a good idea to work with two. I've got Ranger inks in Currant, in Cranberry, and in Rosewood. And we're going to add at the end a little bit of Stream. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. We also are going to be working with India ink, and this is Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay India ink in black. India ink, if you've never worked with it, is archival. It isn't like alcohol ink where it does not need to have alcohol to activate it. Also, if you do a whole painting in India ink, I don't believe you need to UV protect it because it is archival, unlike alcohol inks where you do have to protect it with the varnish and UV protectant. So what we're going to do is we're going to just lay a little line of Currant and some alcohol, and then we're going to just gently spray the canned air and see what happens. And I tend to use more alcohol than I do ink with these paintings, just because look at the color variations that you get there. I think I'm gonna leave that alone. I really like that. It just looks really natural to me. I just love that. And then I think I'm gonna have this go this way. Hit it with the alcohol and then start spraying. I have to add more alcohol clearly to this one. Just add more alcohol until you are satisfied with what you see. And is that not fantastic looking? I love it already. All right, I think here what we're gonna do is take some of this India ink and we're gonna take a dauber and we're just gonna get the tip covered in it and just run a bead like that. Then what we do is hit it with air and squiggle. How great is that? That is just so much fun. I love working with India ink, but be really careful because once it gets on your paper, that's about it. Can't really erase it like you can with the alcohol ink. And also I have blown alcohol or my India ink off the table, so I recommend covering it after every use, because if you spill it accidentally, it is a mess. Take it from me. Okay, so love it. Okay, we were using Currant. How about a little Rosewood? And just again, some alcohol And just, you know, be gentle with the air. You don't really need to blast it. You know, if you had a bigger piece of paper, you know, I can see really hitting it hard, but with this, yeah. And again, use the alcohol until you're happy with what you see. I do like that. Okay, a little here. Don't want too much. And move the can to get some interesting fold effects. Oh, that's kind of interesting right there. Look how pretty that's turning out. Now a little bit of cranberry. Why not? I'm not going to put any alcohol ink down on this one just yet. Oh, and I really kind of like that. I don't know if I want to mess with it, but I probably will. No? Yeah. Okay, I am really liking that. Okay, so I think now we're going to maybe use some alcohol ink markers. I like the CaliArt markers. They last long, they are nicely priced. They come in just every color you can imagine, and they're easy to work with. I think I want to go with sort of a more brown. This brownish green, I kind of like that. And what's great about these is they come a fat side and a narrow tip side. And we probably will be adding more colors, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna do a stem. You just have to go for it. Okay, I like that. I think now, you know, I was going to use Stream, but I think I'm going to use this pen color and just start adding some blue to this. And the reason why I add blue is that it's the opposite end of the color wheel from red. And just by putting in a little drop of it like this, not really emphasizing it too much, but your eye will know it's there. And I took an online course given by Alicia Tormey, who is she's one of my favorite artists, and she's an encaustic artist. Encaustic, if you're not familiar with that, is beeswax and Damar resin, both natural products, and you melt them and then you paint them on a substrate. Usually, I mean, you can use a lot of different things, but I'll use a cradled board. And you can get pigmented, already pigmented for you, or you can pigment it yourself, beeswax. Well, what she does is she'll paint with the beeswax, and what you have to do, you have to fuse the beeswax to the board and use a torch to do that. So that's additional fun, to be painting with fire, basically. And she will use alcohol inks to make these kinds of flowers. And this is what attracted me to this type of flower, is through her art. And she'll also use, oh gosh, the name is escaping me now, but she heats it up and it will create these cells and just make it even more beautiful. And you can layer the wax, and it's just gorgeous. But what she recommended is always adding a very subtle color that is sort of unexpected. And it really does add a lot to your painting. Now, I'm going to take one of these and just add, better clean that out, some alcohol to it. Yeah, that was really a bright pink that was in there. And then a clean micro dauber. And just kind of see what that does along the edge here. Yeah, see, look how interesting that starts looking. Just experiment. There's so many things that you can do, and just finally tweak it with a little alcohol or markers. And then maybe just bring some of this down. Look how pretty that looks. Probably hear my dog snoring in the background. It's his bedtime. Okay, that is really interesting. I think I'm going to take one of my Zero pens, which is just like a regular alcohol ink pen, but just filled with alcohol, and run it along here, the edge. Started to create a highlight. You know, make it look like the sun is coming from the top part here. Clean this edge up a little bit, I think. And these are really fabulous because I kind of like that peeking through too. Because it also just moves your ink around a little bit more. Okay, and I think the other thing that I want to do is I have a little bit of the red in here, and I'm not sure which red I have. And I don't know that it's going to matter to me. But I'm going to have a little hoop down here. I'm going to hit that. I'm going to have one of my cans ready to go. Put a little bit of alcohol on it. And just give it a blast. A little bit more. And do this until you're happy with it. And I'll probably put even, oh, that's cute. A little more. Let's see what happens if I just hit it. Give it a little more intensity. And there's so much more you can add to these. You can dot some of the green on here. Give it kind of more dimension. Maybe a little alcohol to blend that in. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is an abstract. It's supposed to look a little different than what you would expect. I really, really like that. You can also kind of fine tune this area a little if you want. Whatever you feel comfortable with. I mean, it's a really, really pretty flower. But you can always just sort of gently add, you know, some little dots along here to make it look a little more otherworldly, which I've always kind of liked that look in these. Just to give it, you know, a little more interest, something a little different to look at. You could even tuck a little more blue in here if you are feeling even more adventurous. But I think all in all, I'm pretty happy with this. Let me know what you think. And if you try this at home, please post it. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook under Barb's Ink Art, all one word. And I would love to see what you create. Thank you for joining.